Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Beautiful people far and wide. A very good evening. My name is Liam. I'm an author, a creative writer. I write lots of poetry. And this evening, the 4th of Advent, I'm here to read some new, interesting, exciting poetry to you as my audience. As you can see, I'm wearing this ridiculous Christmas cap. Not for much longer though. I'm getting quite hot and sweaty underneath there. But nevertheless, that's just to put us all in the Christmas mood. On today, Sunday, the 19th of December, the 4th of Advent in the year 2021. This live presentation is coming to you from a small town in northern Germany. It's called Eckernförde, and it lies directly on the Baltic Sea, about 70 kilometers south of the Danish border. And at this time of the year, it's very dark. The sun goes down early, just after 4 o'clock, and is only up after 7:30. But there's a wonderful atmosphere. There's a wonderful Christmas atmosphere that we experience. As you can see, the 4 candles of Advent are all burning behind me. In front of me I have a small Christmas decoration, and it's here this evening that I'm going to share with you some new work which has been written in the last 14 days, and as well as that, reach into these 3 volumes of poetry. New Millennium Poetry Volume 1, Volume 2 and Volume 3. These volumes are available on Amazon and present themselves as a catalogue of poetry covering the great spectrum of our human nature. Good evening, Carol. Welcome to the poetry reading on Sunday, the 19th of December, the 4th of Advent 2021, in a very cool and dark northern Germany. Yeah, in these last 2 weeks since the last presentation, there hasn't been very much new work to present this evening, but nevertheless, there are 2 or 3 poems I'm going to read. But other than that, I'm going to be digging into this big volume of almost 1,000 individual pieces of work, as I just mentioned, covering the great spectrum of our human nature and talking a little bit about what the poems mean, what they're about. Most important, however, of primary importance, is always you as a listener. Poetry is something that we read and we listen to, and we attain the enjoyment and the pleasure because of the rhythm, the melody, and the magic of the way the words work on us as individuals. So everyone listening to this poetry this evening will hear, discover and resonate with different aspects, different words or phrases, different metaphors and thoughts and ideas. They're all very individual, And the moment when something lightens up in your own awareness and you say, yes, wow, that was an interesting line, then I implore you to go back and read the poem again, looking at what it was that resonates with you, because that moment of resonation is where you as an individual, an idea has jumped the bridge of time and space, and it's landed directly in your own thinking and in your own feeling. That is what the resonance is. It's as if you could have said, I could have actually said that myself, but it's been slumbering in my own awareness, in my own consciousness, but I haven't actually brought it down to paper or formulated it in words. So do keep your ears open. And let's begin with the very first poem this evening. This little poem is called Bliss. And I've been doing some meditations, and there's a particular line in Sanskrit which appears in this poem. It is called Sut Chat Ananda. Sut Chat Ananda. And this is the ancient Sanskrit words which express the meanings reality, consciousness, and bliss. And it's in these worlds that we move and we live. Reality, our own consciousness, and the bliss towards which we move in the distant future. The great universal mystery of love and energy. So, enough spoken. Here we go. Real, we mostly call our reality. Yes, it comes and goes, flows. Between the striking of the clock, the taking of a tea, you and me. Lift I now an ocean upon a thread, lay it upon the pillow at my bed. Such belief before I return to sleep. With occasion God gives us character too. Without cause give it back into this all. It's a journey from here to there, from now till then. Love is from the infinite, where we go, with us till eternity, this I know. Chant. Sut Chat Ananda. Reality, consciousness, bliss. Let me be these three. Sut Chat Ananda. Bliss. So there we have this ancient many thousand-year-old mantra, Sut Chat Ananda. It's a mantra, and meaning reality, consciousness, and bliss. Yeah. Love is from the infinite, where we go, with us till eternity, this I know. Yeah? So that's something you can just keep in your mind's eye. When listening to these poems, I always recommend this is a different type of performance to someone sitting on a stage with musical instruments and singing or dancing. With the poetry, it's quite specifically just your listening. It's something very personal. It can almost be quite intimate. It's between you and listening to what the words are saying and how you interpret and understand what meaning they give you. So give yourself the greatest opportunity to do this by using what I call divergent focus. Focus, as we know, is when we lean forward and our eye with eye contact and we read and we focused on understanding the content of what it is we're reading. But in this case, divergent focus, you just do the opposite. You turn off your music and your telephone, you make yourself comfortable, you lean back, and if you wish, you can actually close your eyes. And then the focus is on what you hear and how you hear it. So, having said that, let's now listen to this next little poem called The Sparrow. And perhaps you can tell me what you feel when you hear this poem. What resonates with you in your own thinking. The Sparrow. Good evening, Gilda. Never tire. Instead, allow this moment be. Simply stretch out your hand to the needy sparrow, patient to heed its song. Relieve me of this, my sorrow. Although it's deep the call, flight is free and takes me to tomorrow. So there we have the simple little image of the hungry sparrow and you reaching your hand out in a way to relieve it of its sorrow. And you're reaching out with something good. You have got crumbs. You have seeds on the palm of your hand. And it's this gesture of giving. It's such a simple but meaningful, human and touching gesture to reach out, to reach out with your sorrow and let the bird of freedom take each of those crumbs and take that sorrow from you, flying free, free until tomorrow. Because it's so short, I'm going to read it one more time. So listen carefully. Never tire. Instead, allow this moment be. Simply stretch out your hand to the needy sparrow, patient to heed its song. Relieve me of this my sorrow, although it's deep the call. Flight is free and takes me to tomorrow. So be patient and heed those who are also in need and reach out your hand of compassion to those you see around you in need. And heed, like the sparrow, the need which is theirs, and relieve them of that for a moment. Because that's something beautiful to do, especially at this time of year, where it is about understanding our own human nature in its complexity, in its sensitivity, and also appreciating how incredibly lucky we are, how grateful we can be for what we have, the slightest thing that we share. So many of us are surrounded with abundance, but there are so many who live on so little, who live just off those crumbs. This next, I'm not quite sure if I would even call this a poem. But again, it's just a very short, it's an idea. In a way, it's a very compromised, succinct idea that I'd like to share with you. And tell me what you, tell me how this idea resonates with you. And it's about truth and about light. Truth is like light. You find its source by recognizing the spark. As it begins to burn, we turn to truth. Ever clearer, light will flow from this start, till truth alone laughs, warm, illuminating the moment with meaning. Yeah, it takes the metaphor of us recognizing that emergent moment, the initial spark, as light flashes in our, it's a metaphor not only for a real spark, but an idea, a thought, something original in our own being. Truth is like light. So truth is also carries the same quality as the spark. You find its source by recognizing the spark. As it begins to burn, we turn to truth. Yeah, so as it begins to burn, the light, the idea of something which inherently carries a fundamental truth. It contains energy, it contains substance, and emits from it this as light. Ever clearer, light will flow from this start. So ever clearer, once truth has touched you, it is like that flame which burns, and it will continue to flow until truth alone laughs, warm, illuminating the moment with meaning. So truth in itself also goes through this transformation. And what is then created from truth is the meaning itself, the meaning coming from the truth. Good evening, Simona. Welcome to the poetry reading, Sunday evening. Wonderful. So I hope you're bearing with me. This next poem is, it's called The Rainbow, and it's a poem which I particularly love because the rainbow is in itself such a rich, vivid, shining and powerful metaphor for so much. Yeah, we, as a writer, as a poet, you know, the rainbow as such pitches up again and again and again in a myriad of forms and colors and meanings and understandings. And here's just another little poem that I would love to share with you. The Rainbow. Your way begins over there, on the other side of the sky. The bridge there is a rainbow of love. It connects us to all and everything. Believe not your eyes. It's your heart which needs to step out, step forward, not blinded by the light, but intoxicated with the color, singing to the birds, for those wings are yours too to fly. Those songs are yours too to recite, as poems of how we have come to be, so alive, so much more, so free. So the poem begins, which says, your way, you, the listener, me, the reader. My way begins over there on the other side of the sky. So that's where we began, on the other side of the sky, in the world before birth. We emerged into birth as a rainbow begins on the other side of the sky. And it is a bridge. The bridge there is a bridge of love. Yeah? This child emergent into the world of life is always a child of love. The very presence of its being is something which expresses love in its greatest form. It connects us to all and everything. Believe not your eyes. It's your heart which needs to step out and step forward, not blinded by color, but intoxicated by the color. So sing with the birds, for those wings are yours too to fly. So what do we mean? Those wings are yours too to fly. Sing with the birds, sing from your heart, sing from your soul, sing at the top of your voice, dancing and laughing in the stream of life, uninhibited, but intoxicated with the joy of the very moment that you have to give and share. Joy and laughter is something incredibly addictive. People love to see people laughing. People love to see people who are happy, because so many people walk around in a daze where they're not really sure whether they're happy or even unhappy. There are enough who are unhappy. Yeah? So sing with the birds, for those wings are yours too to fly. Those songs are yours too to recite, as poems of how we have come to be. The words and the songs, the very gesture of joy and sharing is in itself poetry in motion. So alive, so much more, so free. Joy is the key to enlightenment. Joy, absolutely. Joy is another aspect of love. Joy is an aspect of love. Yeah, the great energy of love. So, beautiful people, it's now time to read from the books. Those are poems which have been written recently. Now, it's a very particular time of year, and so I thought I would actually see what I could find which fits into this particular time of year. Now, in the Northern Hemisphere, as I mentioned earlier, it's one where we spend a lot of time in the dark, and in the dark, we light the candles, as you can see, the 4 Advent candles behind me. And we make the world, the space in which we live, we make it comfortable. We keep it warm because outside it's very cold. But it's a different situation in the Southern Hemisphere where I grew up. There, of course, Christmas is high summer. And as a good friend of mine in Worcester told me this morning they are roasting with 35 degrees down there, burning hot sunshine. And I believe in Johannesburg it's not that hot at all. But nevertheless, it's still high summer and you've got light all day long. So where is it and what is it is the common denominator that we're looking at this particular time of year? It is a Christian festival. It's a festival of birth. And it's much more than, it has become much more than just a festival. It is also a ritual. So if you are still carried within that whole context of a religious life and upbringing, the Christmas festival moves around the birth, but it's also a deeply spiritual moment full of wonderful rituals for everybody else, irrespective of your personal faith. So let me have a look at what I can dig up, which is going to fit this time of year. So this is volume 2 that I'm looking at the moment. And I'm going to start with a poem on page 141, which is called Advent. So, 141, yeah. Bear with me a moment, and we're about to embark. It's actually written in German. So, for those of you who understand German, Simone, Kerzen, it's called Advent, and it's written in German. So, Kerzen brennt, Cookies warm, dich im Arm. Lichte bunt, Lächeln gesund, Gesang in der Luft, Weihnachtsduft. Tannen grün, Schnee so weiß. Wir gehen nach Haus, zum Weihnachtsschmaus. Ein fröhlicher Weihnachten. Yeah, that was not many poems are written in German, that's for sure. But that's one, yeah, amazing. This little poem is called it's called A New Day, and it's also fitting. When morning breaks, scattered dewdrops catch the light, reflecting sunbeams, rainbows filled with colours bright. That mighty orb fills the sky so blue, soft, fluffy clouds in white invite this day to play, create, invigorate anew. Let's take the waiting deed in hand, rub the sand from dreary shores of sleep, my hand to turn anew the page, the storybook of who I am, you are, want to be and go. Awake the dream and live it with life, with love, with all the manna, warming morning from above. You might be here and I be there. Our paths do cross. We are aware of how unique the day of given time, from waking until sleep, is here to share. For nothing of its worth we may keep, till again we fall so deep to realms of endless sleep. So that's the metaphor there, of course, is a new day. It's a day of life, but it's the life that we have is a day. It's a day of life. Yeah? Awake the dream and live it. Live it with life, with love, with all the manna, warming morning from above. I love that line. Awake the dream and live it with life, with love, with all the manna, warming morning from above. Yeah. Beatrice, good evening. Lovely that you could make it all the way from the UK. Well done. Thank you for being there. So I'm just opening the book and I'm reading a couple of poems. I would love to read you as an audience a poem or two if you would like. So please feel free to type in a page number between 1 and, how many pages have you got here? 250 pages of poetry. 1 and 250. Give me a number. And I would love to read you personally a poem. So using divergent focus, close your eyes, allow a number just to emerge in your awareness. So it's highly intuitive. And then I will go to that page and who knows, it might be something which speaks to you directly. So give it a bash. Type in a number from 1 to 250 and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, while you're busy, I am going to read a little poem that I haven't stumbled across for a very long time, and it's called Your Red Lips. Your Red Lips. Beatrice, that's number 5. Thank you very much. I'm just going to write that down. Page number 5. Okay, so listen up. Your red lips. The morning might bring the light, my eyes not quite open to the day. Dance, laughter ring across my chest. Your patterns, your movements, your art, your red lips, they part. These are the words they say. Letters join to love across my heart. You take me, you hold me too. You breathe my admiration. Morning alive, the light which moves in you joins the dance. The tune is love so true. Turn, spin and fly. In my hand your gentle, helpful sigh. You found me, I hold you. We write these words profoundly. In the day, it's love to live and to be found on your red lips. Yeah, so that was something quite completely different. Completely different. Good, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going to page number 5. Gilda. Oh, this is a great one. This is actually a children's poem. So here the metaphor tries to reimagine the world in which children live and the way children see and understand the world around them. So the poem is called A Child Once Said. A Child Once Said. A children's poem. Thank you, Beatrice. Here we go. A child once said, when going to bed, It's the waving trees that blow the wind and make the breeze, the splash of water on the shore, from swimming fish and whales and more, from mermaids gentle who plait their hair, who sing songs sweet in the moonlit air, of the sailor far on his ship of wood, of a long-lost child on the shore she stood, of her heartache when going to bed, of waving trees to the wind she said, "Please blow, Dad, to my bed this night, to sail with him the silky blue, with mermaid song and whale spoon too. Upon my cheek his kiss so light, then shoot the moon in a star-filled night. Ships sail filled with our dreamy eye. We will sing and laugh and dance till light. Just you, just I, my dad and me, the waves, the wind, the stars, the sea." Yeah, so it's, a child once said when going to bed, the story of a little girl who's thinking about her dad who's a long way away. My dad and me, the waves, the wind, the stars, the sea. So Beatrice, that was poem on page number 5. Thank you very much. So where are we going? We've definitely, it's almost 22. It's time for one more poem. Unfortunately, I can't see. I don't know why, for whatever reason. Sometimes the comment bar at the bottom of this page doesn't work. 134. Who said that? "134. There you are. You see, I can't read it. Thank you. That just came up as a little... I've got a little number 5 next to your name, Beatrice. 134. Good. Here we go. 134. 134. Look yourself, I've just read it. Your red lips. That's the one. That's amazing. Yeah. I just read that one by chance. That was the one yeah, that's amazing. Well done. That is incredible. Okay, any more going? Otherwise, I'm going to just read a poem for everybody. I know. There's a... This poem is called The Footprint. Simona, 97. Thank you, I've got that one. 134. As I said, 134 is Your Red Lips. We just read it. So that's amazing. And then was number 5, which was somehow a mistake. So I'm going to move forward now to page 97, Simona. Page 97, just let me tell you, it's a love poem. And it's called page 97. It's called The Dove. This is a wonderful little poem. This is a wonderful poem. Thank you for choosing this one. It's called The Dove, yeah. The day upon me here in the grass. Clouds above, they slowly pass. The world is green and white and blue. The woman's heart here joins me too. Red, she said, is all my world. She whispers, bending to my lips. A wish, she said, make my heart green. Blue above, white flies a dove, carries green, this twig called love. Yeah, it's a lovely, simple little poem. Let me read it again. So listen closely and just let the images work on you, you know, perhaps even with closed eyes. Caroline, lovely, welcome. We're right at the end of the poetry reading. Give me a number between 1 and 250, a page number, and I'll read you your poem from this book, available on Amazon. So I'm rereading this little poem called The Dove. It's really cool. Okay, you listening, everyone? Closely. Eyes closed. The day upon me here in the grass. Clouds above, they slowly pass. The world is green and white and blue. The woman's heart here joins me too. Red, she said, is all my world. She whispers, bending to my lips. A wish, she said, make my heart green. Blue above, white flies a dove, carries green, this twig called love. So there, the image of lying on the grass above the white clouds, the blue sky, and the red lips that whisper, make my world green. Blue above, white flies a dove, and carries green, this twig called love. And there we've got this beautiful image of the dove, the dove of peace, or the dove of love, carrying the twig with the green leaves on it. So it's an international image of peace and understanding. Beautiful. Thank you for that one. Lovely. Caroline, it's just about over. Give me a number quickly. Type it into the comment section at the bottom of this live presentation. There's a comment box, and I can read you a poem. Otherwise, I'm going to just read one more myself, and then that's done for the evening. What have we got here? I'm going to go changing books. No. Okay. Look for love. Okay, this is a poem on page 126, and it's called Look for Love. When you look for love, close your eyes and look no further. Open your mind with its divergent focus. Peep deep into the vastness, into the universe of you, for here you will be found. Here love is your very existence, waiting to be embraced. patiently offering a look of infatuation. When you are united, free and happy, open your senses and embrace the world. Each and every one of us, each thing, every shining star, expresses, reveals, and is a manifestation of your searching. So close your eyes and look no further to find your essence and share it with the world. So when we look for love, the idea is that by the very nature of our humanity, we carry within us this spark, and that's how the evening began. The poetry reading began with this idea of the spark and the light that we carry within us, and to follow that truth, allowing it to grow. Ever clearer light will flow from this start, till truth alone laughs warm, illuminating the moment, your life, with meaning. And that's what we all need at this particular time, this crazy time in the whole wide world. We all need meaning. We need to understand. We've suddenly come to realize that just amassing things don't make us happy, and definitely the world is unsustainable if you continue like this. So we need to discover a new paradigm for how we work, how we understand life and our own very meaning in all of it. And that's a task which takes time. And if you ask me, if you read a bit of poetry every now and again, that'll definitely help you along the way. And with that, beautiful people, friends, namaste, God bless, take care, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will be back in 14 days, which is just after Christmas, and have a wonderful Christmas. Have a wonderful Christmas with your families. Look for the meaning, create the rituals, and come into the new year safe and sound, strong and healthy. All my love. Mwah. Bye-bye. Good night.